Hi, my name's Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. And this video is a focus on Middle East seed capital investors, and it is part of a series of investor profiles for my Middle East database, which is going to be available in 2024. Just a bit of information about myself. I'm a fundraising strategist with 15 years of experience in high-end real estate sales and marketing, spanning Canada, Dubai, and the Caribbean. And over the past 2 years on Fiverr, I've assisted over 200 clients with startup fundraising, pitch deck refinement, investor outreach strategies, and custom investor databases. In addition, I'm an advisor to a New York-based investment company affiliated with a $60 billion fund. The fund focuses on various sectors, particularly income-producing real estate, with capital requirements for projects typically ranging from $10 to $20 million. These projects are selected based on their cash flow and growth potential. If you want more information on my services, you can just click my Fiverr link below. So this guide to Middle East capital includes the following, and it is a unique database I've been working on for quite a while. There's over 150 hours devoted specifically for this database, and this video series is going to not only include the basics of the database, but it's also going to include company profiles in each one. But to start off with, it has 325 companies, it has key contacts, the type of business, the sectors of potential investment interests that they have, it has their websites, the company emails at 274, and key contact emails over 470. And it also is unique because it has key outreach strategy points, and that's what makes this database very, very unique, and you're going to see more of it in Excel spreadsheet format a little bit later on in the video, and the database, of course, will be delivered in Excel spreadsheet format. Starting off, some key database statistics. There's 185 companies that are based in UAE, so just a little more than half of them are UAE based. 60 companies are based in Saudi Arabia, so about 18%. And 125 companies are either venture capital, private equity, or angel investor groups. So that makes up about 40% of it. It's the best database for first-time fundraising in the Middle East. This video highlights Symax Group in the UAE, and they are one of 325 venture capital, private equity, angel groups, and investment companies in my exclusive Middle East fundraising database. Company snapshot. They're based in the United Arab Emirates, and they're classified as an investment company and a private equity firm. Their key focus is on technology, real estate, and healthcare. Company description. Symax Group is a private equity firm based in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The firm seeks investments in food, healthcare, education, housing, technology, connectivity, legal, and mobility sectors. Company focus, investor approach and strategy. Symax Group, based in the United Arab Emirates, is a family of investment professionals driven by the belief that diversity and global talent are essential for achieving social harmony, universal happiness, and healthy living. The group is united under the common principle of investing in ideas that create the best outcomes for partners, families, societies, and humanity as a whole. Investment focus. Symax Group believes in the power of private equity investments to kickstart ideas with real impact in areas such as science, education, technology, energy, agriculture, communication, entertainment, and medicine. The group is committed to being a catalyst for individuals and teams aspiring to change the world for the better. Symax focuses on socially responsible investment strategies to deliver both financial success and improvement in the quality of life. Geographic reach. Symax Group, although based in the UAE, operates with a global perspective, recognizing the critical role of diversity and global talent in achieving social harmony and universal happiness. While the group's principles are rooted in a shared fiducial destiny, it welcomes partnership opportunities from anywhere and anyone, irrespective of ethnicity, gender, background, or nationality. And here are some of their previous investments. Potential investment opportunities to approach them with. Now in this database, you're going to see it coming up a little bit further in the video. You're going to see the Excel spreadsheet. There's a fair bit of information on it, how it was created, what it involves, and what I have included is three key areas that you could approach these companies with for potential investment opportunities. Now, these are not areas that they're guaranteed they're going to invest in today or tomorrow. They're basically just guidelines for you to create the database and build it over time so that you can start to segment and create a larger data set. Now, what I've done is I've checked the websites, I've checked press releases, I've checked other areas and other investor websites that show some correlation between this group and the companies they've invested in. So given their past investment patterns and existing philosophy, you might want to propose the following investment opportunities: healthcare, real estate, and technology. So those are three areas that you could be pretty safe to start to communicate with this group on. Now, one of the benefits of my database is that it includes tips for investor outreach. This is what makes it unique. There is no other database like it, and I specifically created it for people who are going to do first-time fundraising in the Middle East. Fundraising in the Middle East and any business development in the Middle East is completely different than Western nations, for example. It's really important that you build relationships with companies rather than just firing off your presentations to CEOs, chairmen, and partners. It's best that you start at other levels of their firm, for example, at the associate level, investment advisor, director, maybe even the vice president level. So this is really, really key. Now, how I've done this is I've created this part of the database, and again, you're going to see it just coming up a little bit further here, where I've actually put in some key outreach touch points. Now, for example, there's a lot of contacts in my database that do have CEOs, chairmen, and founders, for example, partners, so senior people in the firms. And in many cases, there's some intermediate contacts as well. And I've also included a large amount of HR contacts, and I'll get to that a little bit later in the next section of this slide. So let's say you're comfortable reaching out to the contact that's in the database, or one that maybe you've already had one touch point with. You could send an email with the body that says, recognizing Symax International's diverse investment footprint, we have an opportunity that might complement your portfolio. So remember, you're not sending your pitch deck. You're not sending an investment opportunity for a $50 million or $100 million real estate development opportunity, or a $100,000 minimum in the stock or investment portfolio, or some other kind of scheme. You're just saying, hi, we'd like to make some contact and to get further information. Now, that's if you know the person or know who they are. At least you've identified them, maybe through the website, maybe through my database. What about a cold contact? In other words, you don't know who you're going to contact, and what's your best approach? Well, this database has that covered as well. And again, there's no other database like this. You're going to see that coming up. So, for example, in this case, you could use a subject heading such as Collaborative Initiatives with Symax Group, and then your key initial email approach line may include, we're working on opportunities that might fit your investment scope. Who can we share the details with this at Symax Group? Now, if you send that to info at or admin at, or you use that in the body of the website. Now, some of these groups, especially if you're looking at venture capital, private equity, in many times cases, they're not going to have an email address. What they want you to do is submit a message. So that message could be put in there. The idea is you're not spamming this database. It's way too valuable. It's one of the most extensive database of key Middle East contacts that you're ever going to find anywhere. It's not a spam list. So therefore, let's say you do not know who it is. Well, there's one approach you could do. Send it to their info at, admin at, or you could use my HR contacts. Now, the good thing about sending something to HR is they're actually they steer the traffic in most firms for these type of items. Now, if you send them a note, for example, with a that key initial email, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to send you back a note saying, here's your contact, here's their position, here's their email address, or they're going to forward it to the person that should deal with deal flow. Remember that word, deal flow. Now, that's usually going to be somebody at an associate level, investment advisor, or a director, maybe even a vice president level. Depends on what the structure, organizational structure of the company is. They're not going to send it to the CEO or chairman, I guarantee you that, because that's not the process. So what you want to do is end up explore the focus of their company. Again, you're not sending a pitch deck, you're not sending any presentation. You are just identifying yourself. It's a 3-sentence email. and no bullet points, nothing like that, unless you really feel that you have an amazing opportunity. You might add 2 or 3 bullet points, but again, no attachments, nothing like that, because you want to understand their internal deal process. In other words, how do they handle opportunities? And by contacting the associate, investment advisor, director level, those particular employees in most of these large firms, their job is to review opportunities. They review anywhere from 50 to 100 a day, and I can tell you that for a fact because I've sat at that same level where we would get pitch decks, and real estate opportunities, you name it, all kinds of things. And the whole idea is that these teams usually will send a report to their CEO or chairman at the end of the month saying we reviewed 100 deals, 200 deals, and we've moved 10 of them up to the investment committee. And that's their job. So that's what you want. That's your goal. Your goal is, in this particular scenario, is to get a communication. Then you're going to get a meeting. Then that's when, and after that is when you get the money. So just keep that in mind. Now, when I was working in the Middle East, Dubai specifically, I helped develop a company database with these key points included, because there was a priority of who we contacted, when we contacted them, and also who within our firm was supposed to contact them. There were some people in our firm that were not allowed to contact CEOs and chairmen. Their job was to sniff through the lower levels, get the information, then pass it on to maybe somebody else on a senior level. Now, we were responsible for working on behalf of ultra high net worth individuals and groups, companies in the Middle East, specifically the United Arab Emirates and Dubai. So we represented clients on both the buy side and the sell side for high level, large scale real estate assets, and that included anything from $50 million to $250 million, again, on both the buy side and the sell side. So we had to work with database like this to be able to know who to contact. And once we had, and these were exclusive mandates, and once we had the perfect scenario as far as the presentation was done, generally the investment prospectus might be 50, 60, sometimes 100 pages, but the small presentation part of it might only be 8 or 10. What we did was we only contacted the groups that previously said we're looking for this. For example, hotels, we're looking for residential developments, we're looking for land, we're looking for commercial office in the United States. Doesn't matter what it was, we did not spray that opportunity to everybody. In this case, you got 325 contacts. You're not going to spray it to all of them, because then what they're going to do is they're not going to listen to you. They're going to say, why is this guy sending me this? I already communicated with him. We only are interested in Saudi, or we're only interested in Abu Dhabi, whatever the case is. They don't want to be sent to a hotel in London. So it's really, really key. Now, if you use this approach, it's going to help you build relationships, and building relationships matters, especially when you're doing your fundraising in the Middle East. This is the type of seed capital and angel group you can find in my exclusive guide to Middle East capital. I created this exclusive database to help founders reach out to seed and angel investors with confidence. There is no other resource like it, period. And you can also check my ultimate guide to raising startup capital with over 140 pages, suitable for people who are doing first-time fundraising. That's something else that you can find on my Fiverr profile. So let's take a look at the database. So now we're over on the database section, and this is the Excel spreadsheet that includes all the contacts in the Middle East capital database. And as you can see on the very top, we've got 325 companies. We have their country, description of the firm, their main business interests, their websites, and they've all been verified. And of course, this database will be suitable for all of 2024. I also have included their investment targets, 1 and 2 and 3. So those are based on information that is publicly known, information that is on their websites of different investments and types of sectors that they will look at. So again, this database is really meant for people who are building a larger data set of Middle East companies to either approach for funding or to possibly promote their products to, because there's a blend of venture capital, private equity, family investment offices, and investment companies, and high-profile companies in the UAE that are led by UAE nationals. So it's a really great database for for companies that really want to get a very good look at some of the key parties in the Middle East when it comes to raising capital. It also has their investment territory, which includes whether they're just looking at either the Middle East or whether they're looking MENA or whether they're looking global. I've also included their key real estate assets. If they're investment companies that tend to look at real estate, I've included those as well in this database. Now, it also has, as far as key touch points, it has their company emails, and in some cases it's not available because they want you to actually submit your details via their forum. But I'll get to the key stats a little bit later on, and you also saw that in the initial slide presentation. Telephone numbers and contact numbers. There are two what I call primary contacts, and then there's a third, which is the secondary contacts. The key contacts could include CEOs, managing directors, executive directors, and that is the same with the second contact title. You can see operations manager, directors of real estate, presidents, and so on and so on. And the main reason for that is so that you have a senior contact that you can reach out to. You can also check them on LinkedIn to get more details. In many cases, their email addresses have already been included, and I'm going to get to that again when we go to the stats page. And the third email contact tends to be somebody in HR. And the reason I've done that is because this database is very unique in the fact that I include outreach approach tips for each of these firms. There are two types. One is a outreach touch point if you know who the contact is. In other words, if it's been already identified by myself, then you could send them a line that I've included here in all the companies. For example, Saudi has a strong track record in urban development in Kuwait. Would you be interested in unique investment opportunity that complements your portfolio? And the reason I include these is to help people write their first letters, and also to show you that you should not be spamming this type of list with just a generic email approach talking about your company and the investment opportunity. This allows you to add a little bit of information about them, so whoever receives it is going to know that you did a little bit of work, and it should not be considered a spam. And the second reason here is I've got contact sourcing outreach approach, and this is if you do not know who the contact is. And this is really key because in some cases you may not have a contact, and this is the perfect way for you to introduce yourself. For example, in this case I put subject request for direct contact with investment division, and then as the body of the email may include, I believe you might be the right person to assist me. We're exploring potential investment opportunities that align with Salia's investments vision. Could you direct us to the person or team responsible for evaluating such opportunities? And you can see as I scroll down here, it is included in that type of line. They're all customized, of course. The same with the ones for the direct contacts that are known. They actually talk about something the company has done, something they've invested in, the sectors, or possibly what their company vision is. And this is really going to help you, especially if you're doing first-time fundraising, or if you just want to save time when it comes to your research for these type of firms. That's what makes this database unique. Another thing that makes it unique is it really sticks to mainly the type of companies that are either venture capital, private equity, investment companies. So there's no fluff in here. There's no companies in here that should not be in here. And that is the difference between this database and other databases that are out there that talk about investments and reaching out to other investors. For example, there's very little here when it comes to accelerators. There might be a couple of them, but it's not plugged full of what I would call just garbage contacts. These are really key companies that are perfect for reaching out to, whether you're raising funds or whether you want to present opportunities, whether it's real estate, investment opportunities, and the like. So let's take a look at some of the stats. So the underlying stats are there's 470 firms, 340 prime contacts, 90 third tier contacts, and 90 email contacts when it comes to the third tier. So you're getting about 400 and a little over 450 emails, and the total company emails are 275. So those would be info at, admin at, that sort. So that's a really key overview of the database. Again, this is going to be a series where I'm going to highlight each of the contacts. But if you're interested in this particular database, just reach out to me on my Fiverr profile below. My master database includes 400,000 verified global contacts. That includes angel investors, family investment offices, pension funds, hedge funds, private equity databases, REITs, Middle East premium high net worth and ultra high net worth investors database, venture capital lists and investment banks. I also have clients with pitch deck reviews and corporate fundraising presentations. If you're just getting ready to send your presentation out to an investor, send it to me. I have a service on Fiverr where I will review it for you. Approximately 80% of the presentations that I get sent are not suitable to be sent out to investors. For more information on my databases and fundraising services, click my Fiverr link below. Thank you for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe.